Alice Donovan's family continues to wait for DNA results to come in on human bones that searchers found last month in Horry County. Donovan went missing in November of 2002 from the Conway Walmart. Her body was never recovered, but a federal jury sentenced Chadrick, Fulks, and Basham to death for the kidnapping and murder back in 2004. Well, last month, search crews from the Q Center in Wilmington received a map and a letter from convicted Donovan killer Chadrick Fulks. That map led searchers to a human skull and skeletal remains along Watertower Road in the Wampee Community. Authorities sent those bones to Columbia for DNA testing and comparison to Donovan's daughters, hoping to identify the remains. Investigators say the results from those tests should come in very soon. Now, 2 weeks ago, the Q Center received another map from Fulks of the area. The convicted killer says that he and Basham buried their first victim, West Virginia College student Samantha Burns. That letter kicks off a new search for Burns in northern West Virginia. Fulks and Basham kidnapped Burns from a mall in Huntington, West Virginia, just days before Donovan disappeared. The pair pleaded guilty in 2004 to killing Burns. Tomorrow morning, the Q Center, armed with Fulks' map, will set out to recover her remains. It's been nearly 6.5 years since Samantha Burns went missing. News 13's Jody Barr received a letter from Chadrick Fulks just last week, and in that letter, Fulks says that he tried to help authorities find Donovan and Burns' bodies for 6 years now. News 13's Jody Barr joins us live with the letter and Fulks' reasons why he is reaching out.
Well, Martha, I wrote Chadrick Fulks a few weeks ago after the search in Horry County ended for what searchers believe were the remains of Alice Donovan. I wanted to know what Fulks' role in the killing was, why he's reaching out now, and what the death row inmate looks to gain from this. Chadrick Fulks and Basham, both convicted of murders of two women whose bodies more than 6 years later have never been found. Fulks sent Monica Caison of the Q Center for Missing Persons a map in January. A map, Fulks says, would lead Caison and her search team to Alice Donovan. In a 3-page letter to News 13, Chad Fulks says he sent the same exact map to authorities, but until Monica Caison, Fulks writes, no one took him seriously. My efforts to assist in locating Miss Donovan's and Miss Burns' bodies have been ongoing for 6 years. Miss Donovan's remains were discovered in the exact location where I've told law enforcement, news media, attorneys, and anyone else who would listen to look. I'm providing this assistance because it's the only thing I can do to give these family members some opportunity to provide a final resting place for Alice and Samantha. It has nothing to do with me having a death sentence. Fulks claims he didn't kill Alice Donovan or Samantha Burns and never said who did, although he was there and had a role in the killings. Fulks continues, yes, of course I have regrets over what happened to both Miss Donovan and Miss Burns. I would give anything if I could go back to that time and change it. I live with my involvement in the events which led to the deaths of Alice and Samantha. It haunts me every single day. I will go to my death knowing that I have never killed anybody, not Alice Donovan, not Samantha Burns. I understand that my actions contributed to their deaths, and I have always accepted responsibility for that. I will continue to do so, even if it requires me to be executed by lethal injection. And today, Alice Donovan's daughter, Angie Gilchrist, sat down with us to talk about the Fulks letter. Gilchrist says she wants to watch her mother's convicted killer die for what he did.
The reality that he no longer breathes the air that I breathe. I don't think he should be allowed to be fed 3 meals a day, have a bed to sleep in, and be able to breathe after what he did to my mother.
Now you can hear more from Alice Donovan's daughter, and we'll have more of Fulks' letter tonight at 11.